I didn't even know that was a thing until I was like a grown adult. People like sweeping the hairs in the front. I don't know. And so I've always thought that my hair type is just not able to be swept in such a formation. You know what I'm saying? What is up, you guys? It's me, Gaylyn Lareese, and welcome back to another video here on my channel. Today's video is a kind of video that I don't really do on this channel, but I recently did a hygiene must-haves, my hygiene routine for the summer video, and a lot of you guys also asked about what I've been doing with my hair. So if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I was wearing it straight for a pretty long time, and now I'm not. Now I'm wearing my natural hair out. It's been kind of an exploration, and I've been learning some things along the way, so I thought I might as well just share with you what I've been doing to grow my natural hair and some tips that I've learned so far just in my little natural hair journey. So if you have not already, go ahead and subscribe and let's jump in. So I was just taking new profile pictures in my office, and I was like, now would be the best time for me to shoot this video. So my notes are on my phone. If you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. My first tip for going natural, especially if you have type 4 hair, is to find a conditioner that has really good slip. So I was always the person who just kind of used what I had been using, but I didn't really have any specific reason why I was using it. I wasn't really looking for anything specific when it came to conditioner. I just thought you have to condition your hair a lot when your hair is like mine, so I just found one and was using that. And over time I realized that that product was not making my hair slippery enough for me to really detangle it. So I have since switched conditioners, and I have to say that having a conditioner that gives your hair good slip is like an absolute game changer when it comes to dealing with type 4 hair. I have been currently using the Maui Moisture Strength and Anti-Breakage and Agave conditioner for chemically damaged hair. I haven't actually had chemical in my hair for quite some time, but I tend to look for products that are for chemically damaged hair just because they tend to have even more moisturizers than a regular conditioner does. I also can't speak on all of Maui Moisture's products because I haven't tried them all. I just simply have tried this one and I really, really like it. Now, the one thing you want to do when you are detangling your hair in the shower is you want to pull down and apart. So a lot of times, especially when I was younger, people who were doing my hair, they were just like separating it like this. And if your hair is curly, it's going to shrink closer to your head. And so when you're trying to pull tangles apart, you're not actually lengthening the strand to separate it, which is why you're gonna get a bunch of knots. And so that's why I would always get these little single strand knots or just knots in general in my hair. And that eventually causes breakage. So having a conditioner that really creates good slip is going to be a game changer. Do not stop until you find one. Like I said, this one is really good. I really enjoy it, but if this isn't the one for you, find what works because it will change your whole hair care routine. My second tip is probably gonna be a little bit, I don't know, some people may feel a way about this, especially if you're like me and you grew up pretty much being told that like your hair either needs to be in braids or relaxed. That's how I grew up. I've never worn my hair out like this until now as an adult, and I'm 27 years old. So if you grew up like me, the idea of just wearing your hair out could be kind of like, where do I start? So I would highly recommend for you to start wearing wash and goes. Now, some people will say that wash and goes damage your hair and da-da-da-da. I think it's just how you take care of your hair while you're wearing a wash and go, and that's the whole reason you're wearing it. So what I have found out is that wearing wash and goes in my hair actually helped me learn my hair. I was so used to having my hair in braids or relaxed or in some kind of style so that I didn't have to deal with it, which was great, but then I didn't also learn it. So when it came time for me to wear my natural hair, I didn't really know what my hair needed other than like, it needs moisture, you know? But moisture could mean so many different things to different people and different hair types. And so I didn't learn all of those things about my specific hair until I actually started wearing wash and goes. So I highly recommend, if you are starting to grow your hair out and wear your natural hair and you have type 4 hair, wear wash and goes. Just allow yourself, like, touching your scalp honestly is unmatched. I haven't even been wearing my hair in protective styles a lot simply because I enjoy being able to touch my scalp, and that's the prime reason that I ended up growing my hair out, honestly, is I just was sick of wearing wigs and having to sew them down because my sides are shaved. So I would have to sew them down to wear them, but then I wouldn't be able to touch my hair or my scalp for like 2 or 3 weeks at a time, sometimes a month at a time. And so learning your hair type and learning what your hair actually likes, what environments make it feel more dry, how you need to handle your hair will actually make you more equipped to do your hair on a regular basis and to know what your hair actually needs from you. Wear it for a week, see what you learn about your hair for a week, and then that'll give you a lot of information for you to move forward in case you do want to change it up or whatever. You know what your baseline is. At this point, I've pretty much gotten my wash and go routine down to a science. So if you want to actually see the products that I use and how I do that process, be sure to let me know down in the comments, because that would be like a whole other video and I don't want this video to get too long, but I don't even know if y'all are interested in the first place. So just let me know, and if you are interested, then I would make that video. My next tip for growing out your type 4 hair is to stay away from creams and butters and thick products. This is more so for people who have hair like mine. I have low porosity hair, which means my hair doesn't really like taking a lot in. It takes a lot to get it moisturized enough for things to go into the hair shaft to keep it moisturized. And what I've found is that any type of cream or butter that I put on my hair, it's like I'm trying to do too much. It's like my hair is kind of like, we can't let all of that in at one time. And so for me, I've learned that those kind of products are just too thick for my hair. And so it would just sit on the top, and then it would create this residue that over time when it dries would actually make my hair feel more brittle and dry. And so I've stuck to only using gels and liquid formulated products. So anything that comes in a spray bottle and anything that comes in a gel format, that's what I use on my hair. And I've found that my hair likes that a whole lot more. And I think it also just helps my hair to stay light. I think it's very easy for type 4 hair to get super weighed down, and then it just kind of feels very, very dense and it's not bouncy. But I feel like I have some bounce. We're bouncing, right? We're bouncing. And I think that's because I use a lot of lightweight products, and I use those products still while my hair is wet. So learning the porosity of my hair, again, from doing those wash and goes and figuring out what kind of works with my hair best in its natural state, has led me to understand that I can't really do the butters and the thick creams. And so no matter who makes it, I pretty much stay away from it. Now, the birds keep interrupting me. It's parrot season. Now, the next thing that I've been doing since I've started growing out my type 4 hair is I have been using low tension stretching methods on my hair at night. I have found that stretching my hair overnight actually helps it to kind of soak in more of the product, especially after I do a wash and go. But in general, stretching my hair at night also helps me prevent it from shrinking back close to my head and causing those knots that I was talking about before. So when I'm sleeping, I pretty much like my hair to always be in a stretched state. Now, the problem I've found with a lot of stretching methods is that they are high tension stretching methods, and so it puts a lot of stress either on your hair or your scalp. Also, a lot of them take like an hour to do, and I just refuse to braid my hair for an hour at night just to take it out the next day. I'm not doing that. So for me, I've found that using clips is the best way to do this. Pull your curls away from your head so that you're really getting the mid part of your hair shaft, twist it, and then clip it to your head. Pineapples and however people like to sleep in their hair, that's cute or whatever, but for me, when I wake up, my head is just like a giant little tight little afro, which is like begging for me to get knots and tangles. So that doesn't really work for me. The clips do. I've been using claw clips and different styling clips, just things that are not metal, first of all, plastic, but also that will hold the tension in the clip itself instead of on my head. I don't want to pull at my scalp. I don't want to pull my hair too much. And that's how I sleep. And then all I have to do when I wake up is just take my clips out, shake my head, maybe add a little bit of water if I choose to, if I so desire, and then boom, my hair is fine. I have found that that helps me to avoid getting these little small single strand knots, and it makes my detangling process when it's time for me to wash my hair again so much easier because it hasn't built up this like matting over the course of the week. This next thing that I've been doing with my hair, you may be like, duh, Gaylyn. I don't know. I didn't know until I started doing this, but there's, you know, this trend with the baby hairs or whatever. Comment down below if your mom did your baby hairs when you were young, because my mom never did a single baby hair, and this isn't on her. I didn't even know that was a thing until I was like a grown adult. People like sweeping the hairs in the front. I don't know. And so I've always thought that my hair type is just not able to be swept in such a formation. You know what I'm saying? And just for reference, this is what my edges look like when I just put some edge control on it and try to use a dense brush to brush them and sweep them back. As you can see, not only is my hair not really laying down, but it's also irritating the skin in front of my hairline and just making it start to turn red and just kind of pulling at those really fine hairs, which that wasn't working for me. So I would buy these different edge controls and try and sweep my hair back, and it just would not get to sweeping. And what I found is that I need to actually use a thinner gel on my edges first to sweep the hair in the direction that I want it to go. But mostly what that's doing is simply just getting the hairs moisturized. And then I put the edge control on top. I found that that actually helps my baby hair stay in place. And by doing it this way, I only have to do a couple of passes with my brush to get them to go where I want them to go. And then boom, bam, look at them lay. Who would have thought? More moisture, right? So the double gel method for my edges is actually what works best for me. So let me know if it works for you. Now, the next thing that I've been doing since I've started growing out my type 4 hair is when I do choose to style it either in braids or something that requires me to slick it back, I always blow dry it out first. I understand that heat can cause damage, but honestly, the damage that I get from trying to comb through my hair when it is in its normal semi-shrunken state, that damage completely outdoes the little bit of heat damage that I might get when I blow dry my hair out. And honestly, I've blow dried. I've done that to my hair multiple times since I've started my little hair care journey or whatever, and my hair's been fine. So I think as long as you're giving your hair the proper moisture and care that it needs when it is not in these blow dried states, will make it so that it's stronger for when you do choose to blow dry it out. So find yourself a good blow dryer with a comb. I will link mine in my Amazon storefront so you guys can purchase it if you want it, because I've been using it and it's great. It comes with the comb head on it, the diffuser head, and like 2 others, and it came with some of the clips that I used to sleep in that I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, so I will link that for you guys down below. Also, when you're blow drying your hair, you never want to blow dry already dried hair. Make sure your hair is wet before you do it, even if that means you have to kind of wet your hair again before you blow it out. This way the comb on your blow dryer can really run through it easily instead of making your hair more brittle and crispy as you're trying to lengthen it. I typically only blow dry my hair after I've done my hair wash routine, but if for whatever reason you're doing it and you haven't done that, just make sure your hair is wet before you actually take the blow dryer to it. And my last little thing that I've been doing since I have been growing out my type 4 hair is that I have been keeping my hands out of it. Keep it simple, you guys. I know that when you go natural, the inclination is to want to do all of these new hairstyles and do these protective styles, but every time you're manipulating your hair, you're creating an opportunity for breakage. So actually touching your hair less is gonna, 1, help you prevent yourself from ripping your hair and just causing these little tangles and things, but it's also gonna keep your hair moisturized, because every time you touch your hair, you're transferring the moisture onto your hands and taking it off of your hair. So just keep your hands out of your hair. Stay really simple with it, and also take off this like societal expectation that in order to wear your hair natural, it has to be super long. My hair is not super long, as you can tell. I think when it's straightened, it might come to my shoulder or whatever, but like, who cares, you know? Like, stop worrying about what other people have to say about certain hair types and how long it has to be to look feminine or whatever, and just enjoy your hair in its natural state. Like I said, I went natural honestly because I just wanted to keep being able to like touch my scalp and scratch my scalp and be able to just exist more stress-free in my natural state. And so I hope that that's what you are looking to do with your hair. I know that sometimes the natural hair community can seem like it's more accepting of certain hair types over others, but at the end of the day, what matters is what your hair goals are for you. And if you are meeting those hair goals, then keep it simple and just wear your hair in a way that feels natural to you. And that is it, you guys. Those are my little tips that I've learned so far as I've been growing out my type 4 hair. I have honestly found that since I've been doing these things, my hair stays way more moisturized and I just feel like it's healthy. It's doing really well. It's always bouncy and floppy and it's giving curls for the girls. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully this video was helpful for you if you have a hair type similar to mine. And if you want to see that wash and go video, let me know down below. I will see you guys in my next video next weekend. Later.